Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Teaching Tales. I'm your host, Mischelle Denniz, and I'm so excited to be back here with another teaching superstar. But before I introduce her to you, let me tell you a little bit about Teaching Tales. So, this podcast is all about celebrating the incredible journeys of our beloved teachers who inspire us, who teach us, and literally impact our entire lives. So, here we talk to real life teachers to understand their journey, bring light to their struggles, and recognize their passion for this amazing profession of teaching. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into our conversation. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Baishali Nandi with over 14 years of experience in end-to-end operational management and an impressive background as a former corporate team leader. Ms. Nandi has now ventured into the realm of teaching. Woohoo! Teaching for the win, guys. Ms. Nandi, thank you for taking the time to join us and share your incredible journey with us. Welcome, and I'm super charged to have a chat with you. Welcome to Teaching Tales.
Very good afternoon, Ms. Mischelle, and thank you for having me here. It's an honor, and I would definitely love to share my experience.
Awesome. We're absolutely looking forward to talking more about your experience and getting to know you.
Sure.
Okay? All right. So, Baishali, let's start by diving into your remarkable career transition from the corporate world to the field of teaching. So it's not every day that we see someone with 14 years of corporate experience make such a switch. Can you share with us what inspired the significant change in your career path?
Yes, 14 years of totally corporate. Overall, I have 16 years. I mean, that was for in automobiles. So it was not completely, it was a franchisee company of Hyundai. And then I got a break in corporate. I started with Genpact as an associate, and then I was a team lead, and then my last company that I've supported was Cognizant. So I mean, although I've been into operations and being into leadership role, you always end up coaching and grooming your team, because I've been into transitions. So where my work was to get the work from onshore, and I had a couple of opportunities to travel abroad, both on site and also stabilizing the business remote. And so whenever the transition happened, you have to educate your team. Mm-hmm. And it's not about just basic education that you provide. It's about the complete deep dive of the process, stabilizing the process, maintaining the KPIs, CPIs, and then interacting with the client. So training has been always a part and parcel of a team lead's role. So people in leadership role, you have to groom and coach your team. You just can't just leave it on their own. And for me, if you ask me, it has been a personal interest. I still remember during my school days when I was in kindergarten school, and fancy dress competition used to come, and the teacher used to ask me what do you want to become. I said I will dress like a teacher like you. I don't know, because sometimes as child we say some certain things, and it's somewhere it is there, it is related to your core values, right? Wow. That happened. It was a childhood thing. And later when I grew up and I was in school and colleges, I used to earn my pocket money by coaching and teaching. So that has been part of it. Later when I got into corporate, life was a little bit hectic and I was not able to give that time to this genre. So, but it was always there. So, and happily to be, I was happily working in corporate, but somewhere teaching has always been a passion for me. I still remember I saw an ad in Facebook, and I was very inspired with the reel that was provided over there, and I thought, let me give a try if there's something. And then I just I connected with a mentor. It was Meghna Gone, and then she took me over from there. She explained me the process, and then I decided, okay, that means after such a long time, I got a pathway to, chase my passion. Because at this stage, completing, I won't say impossible. Nothing is impossible when you put your heart and soul. But when you are into, in this kind of hectic schedule, 2 years BA degrees, it's way too much, because you won't be able to devote your time full-fledgedly.
True.
But when I joined Suraasa, it was a kind of comfort, because the classes used to happen on weekend. I had the comfort of doing it online, staying at the comfort of the home. Plus, the trainers, the mentors were from abroad. They're very understanding. The way they have taken up the complete curriculum of the course was amazing. So I liked that experience, because that's what I wanted. And somewhere, it was it was universe gift that I got it, and I thought of pursuing it.
Wow, that's so inspiring to see that, that childhood passion, or that the words that you said as a child is now coming true, is becoming a reality. It has become a reality, is a reality for you, and it's just going to get better going forward.
Yeah, you can say the manifestation journey took quite a long time. That time my teacher said, I'm glad at least everybody wants to become a doctor, engineer, but at least I'm glad that from my class there will be one teacher. I don't know, that particular sentence is still there in my mind, but somewhere, we say that we'll plan a lot of things, but universe always has a plan for us. Sooner or later we get to know, and I am a big believer of that. So it happens in a journey. It doesn't happen all of a sudden, but when the right time comes, you are through in that path.
Incredible, absolutely incredible, I have to say. So I'm really curious to know, what were some of the initial challenges you faced when you made this career transition, and how did you overcome them?
Well, when I decided myself that no, I'm going to go for Suraasa and I'm going to pursue teaching as a profession. Leaving the corporate was difficult, because I was doing pretty well. I was handling a team of 35 team members. It was quite a big team, and different LOBs in 2 different locations. So I could not give them the reason. I had a personal reason, to be very honest. I could not share, because all of a sudden shift, it was a kind of surprise for my existing leaders over there, and also from home front, because what happened all of a sudden? Why am I changing? So, but I knew what I wanted, and my parents also, they were very supportive. They said, whatever you feel like good and you think that you can do which you think that you are naturally good at it, then I think you should pursue. But challenges in the sense, enrollment and all, everything was smooth. I did not have any challenge with Team Suraasa and all. But to be very honest, when somebody sees you coming from a different background, corporate, which has nothing to do with the teaching, career, there will be people, and that I have also come across. Sometimes the mentors, maybe they just want to see what do you bring to the table, and in first glance they don't know me, neither don't they know about my passion, or they don't know me as a person. So I had to give a kind of offline test at times, with questionnaires thrown on me. What do I answer them? How do I tackle a situation? Sometimes I'm put into maybe those I took those as a kind of learning phase, because of course, if somebody is training me, somebody is teaching me, they also want to see how passionate I am, how serious I am. Is it just a tick in the box? Because many people I've seen during the course, they've enrolled for the course, but they've never turned up. So it was a kind of test for me, but I was ready to give it, because I was mentally prepared. I knew this kind of questions would be there and people would be testing me. So is my batchmates, because they had years of experience in teaching. Somebody had 20, somebody had 19, somebody had 10 plus, all more than 5. And I was a newbie for teaching career, to be very honest, because my corporate experience is not going to count over here, right? Because I was starting from scratch. So somewhere, when you are starting with an experienced batch, people will try to test you. That's how the world is. It doesn't happen so easily that people will accept you the way you are. So I'm always prepared for the naysayers journey, because why? Whenever you try to do something, you'll have less of supporters and more of detractors. So it's okay for that, because what I have learned in my career, that you give your best, you're on the right path. Doesn't matter what others think of you. If you are right and if you're correct on your path, people are bound to follow you, and they will, in a way, sooner or later they will support you. That's what my mantra of life have been, because you cannot expect always that people will come and support you. And somewhere they have to test. Because always they'll think that 14 years corporate team leader, why teaching job? What are you going to get? Many people have said you'll get just peanuts. Why this profession? Means you could have done more well, or you could have joined some more a bigger much venture over there. Why this? But that's a passion, right? Because that's how our passion drives us. And if you enjoy something, doing it day in day out, then you'll put your more focus, your heart and soul to it. So, but gradually they understood me as what my caliber or my potential was. But I still feel I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn. Even at the last moment of my life, last breath of my life, I'll be learning. That's what I feel like. I'm a lifelong learner. So they tested me, but later on they got to know me within this journey, that it's not what they thought, and things were normal. Because you can make out with the change in behavior when people initially they used to behave, and later how their behavior changed. So I got my answers. I did not go and probe them anymore. Neither did I, because it was just a phase. You have to pass on one toll gate to another.
Awesome. So what I hear is, like, when you decided to switch your careers, the first challenge you ever faced was finding the best, or finding a course to do to understand what entails teaching.
Yeah.
And you found Suraasa, you found the PGCTL course, and I guess you're saying it's been an amazing journey. You've learned a lot and you're still learning.
Absolutely, because if I compare myself with the B.Ed course, no course is good and bad, it's how you do it. But the time, the way, the requirement is, the modern education is no more traditional school, right? Has been a lot of things, technology has been introduced, the way the teaching methodologies are introduced in the class. It has to have more of practical hands-on experience. It cannot be just theoretical. You learn something and go and deliver. Then there would be no difference than traditional way of teaching and then the modern. So what Suraasa gave a platform, and to be very honest, apart from the course, of course, PGCTL enrollers will get more benefits as a part of the course. But the free master classes, I've been always mentioning, people, even if they are still thinking that whether they should join the course or they don't want to, these free master classes can be a big impact if you follow it diligently, if you enroll for all the courses. As the master classes pop up, you go and enroll, register yourself and do it. There'll be always something to learn and implement. If somebody has that intention of doing it, following it very strategically, making notes and following it, I think it's a kind of very selfless service which Suraasa is doing it, and I see enrollers over there. It just depends that what you learn and how you want to implement is up to you.
Awesome. That's so great to know, and I have to give a big kudos to our team as well for putting in all the effort to make this happen.
Absolutely. The ITO is also one thing, because I still remember when I joined, I thought, okay, let me just enroll for it. And then to my surprise, I was in the 38th percentile in globally. So, but still, I was not in the 10, I was not in the 100, but I was in the 30th. But that was an achievement, because I was newbie. I don't know anything about teaching, the way of doing it. And that time the course it was a month of October and the course has started. We were in the middle of the course. So there was still a lot to learn. So, but still in that moment, what I could do, whatever I could learn with that couple of months, I mean, if that could bring me in that 30th percentile, I think if I incorporate those learning, I'll be able to learn more, even more.
That's amazing. That's really incredible. And it's so heartwarming to hear, how the PGCTL program has helped you, made such a profound impact on your life and your teaching practices. Like, such heartwarming experience of our learners is what keeps our team on their toes. I mean, when we see impacting passionate teachers like you who are eager to learn, eager to make a difference, it automatically motivates us at Suraasa to give 100% of our effort for our teachers. So what you're doing as a teacher is absolutely incredible, and we truly value it.
Thank you. Okay. My pleasure.
So my next question, okay. As a relatively new teacher, I know you may have less experience within the classroom, but you have had experience tutoring, right? So
yes.
Is there a particular student or a student that stood out to you, or a moment while you were a tutor that has impacted you, that you carry with you today as well?
That's what I was sharing the story, and I used to give tuitions to 6 students, out of which there were 3 boys and 3 girls were there. The boys were more stick to me with them because their parents, when they had approached me for the tuitions, they were not following any schedule, and it was very difficult to make them follow a routine classes, and then the marks and everything. So, but when I picked up them, it has always been a kind of conversation that I follow. I don't follow a kind of, a routine or a kind of thing. I just try to understand their psychology first. It has been from my very, teenage. Because when you understand somebody's style of learning, and that's what I learned it later on in Suraasa, it becomes easier for teacher to deliver the lesson properly. Yeah, because sometimes, or most of the time, we don't want to be pinpointed what to be done and what not to be done. Initially, we might follow it as a kind of respect. Later on, it just turns out. So these 2 boys but when, to my surprise, they started following everything that I was doing. They would rather come and approach me that, for different subjects that I used to not teach. How do let's say they have 2 months to go for the exams, they will sit with me. They will insist me to prepare for them a kind of complete planner, how they would follow their routine, starting from waking up till the time they go to bed, and in between their, the school hours and everything. And I'm still now connected with them too. And one of them has just completed their graduation, and the other one is studying his engineering. So even now they follow that, that's the same method that I had taught them, you follow this way, and still now they keep on following, and that it's a kind of achievement for me. Why? Because a lot of gap has occurred, more than 10-15 years, and now still they're following those practices and they still remember me. So what do you need? If you think that your teaching has made an impact and they are doing well and they still follow your tips that you have given them to follow, I think that makes my day.
Awesome. It's so incredible to see the impact that you have made. The fact that they're still following what you have taught them like 10 years back, that makes you feel so good, right? It's amazing how a simple moment can help us discover our true teaching potential. Like, moments like these are what makes teaching such a rewarding profession. And thank you for sharing that inspiring story.
Absolutely, thank you. It's my pleasure too. Because after that, I'm not that much in touch. I'm in touch, but not in a kind of very often conversation with them, because I was busy with my professional journey. but still they remember and they're following the things. That is great ones. That means somewhere it has helped them, right? And a teacher truly, a true teacher always wants a betterment of their students, no matter in whatever grade you are, in whatever profession you pick up later on. If you're able to impact a minute amount also, that makes a difference, right? That's how it is. It's not just coming to the class and just giving lectures on a particular topic or something and just you leave out. If you remember your childhood teacher even now, that means somewhere that teacher had impacted you, right?
Very true.
That's how it is.
Very true, very true. I can see the passion with which you talk about teaching, and I am sure the kids who are going to have you as a teacher are going to be so lucky. Really, so lucky. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be waiting. If I have more good stories, definitely I'll share.
Please, yes, absolutely. We would always love to hear these amazing stories that teachers have to share. So, Baishali, earlier when you were sharing your story about when you used to be a tutor, okay, I used the word true teaching potential. Does that ring a bell for you? Do you remember where you heard that before?
That's what I said. For me, potential, if something is inborn, you're naturally good or you enjoy doing it. For that, the potential is something you're giving a kind of a terminology. But when your potential is there, it is something inbuilt. It's just that, somewhere you just have to resurface it, or maybe just clean up a little bit, or maybe you have to brush up a few things as per the requirement. That's what I was citing my parents as an example, because they do not have any professional degree, but they are the best teachers of your life. When you did not start going to school, right? They have taught us so many things, and I don't think if it is inbuilt, and I'm totally in sync with that. That you don't always have to have a professional degree. It's just that your positive intention and how you want to serve impact somebody else, be it your own kids or any student you are doing it. This is something inborn, naturally it comes. And if somebody is thinking, no, I will pursue and then I'm going to follow a kind of only the course and I'm going to follow as per the course, then it's going to be harder. You really have to enjoy the journey. You really have to have certain things within yourself, and that's where, when you enjoy doing it, your potential you'll get evolved in the process.
So you said that true teaching potential is something that is inbuilt, something that comes naturally. Our parents are some of the first teachers that we come across. Okay, and that is very true. But at the same time, do you think that teachers can learn, to be good teachers and to find their true teaching potential?
Well, if somebody is not able to find the innate qualities and they want to pursue as a teacher, then you have to be a lifelong teacher. You cannot just be very stringent to one particular way of doing it. So this is my style and I'm going to follow it, because there's always something to learn. There's always something to improvise, because when you have a class, you'll have students of various levels, from various backgrounds, from various experiences. So a teacher has to be very adaptive to the process, because they have to be adaptive. Otherwise, it's not that the students will follow the teacher's style. It is the teacher who has to follow the student's style, right? So every time when you come across a student, you'll have to keep on molding it. And if you do not have that nature, or you do not have that mindset of, that I'm going to make that shift to make that the kid's life or the student's life a little bit easier, it's always going to be a kind of roadblock. Because it's not just coming and going to the class and imparting the lesson. You have to build the connect. Because when you are interacting with your favorite teacher, I'm sure you will have more heart-to-heart conversation. You'll be able to open up more, and you'll pay more attention. Whereas the vice versa, if you do not appreciate a person's teaching style, you will not be able to focus more, because somewhere it comes as a kind of mental block. So for teachers, I would say that, keep learning, keep improvising. What you have done till now, that was great. Maybe in the upcoming journey, there's something more we need to explore. So for that, whatever course, if you want to pick up, if that serves you, then you can do it. Or at least join these free master classes. You'll be able to learn, interact with people with who you admire, because somebody has already left, have already lived that life, or they know how to do it. So maybe you can reach out to a mentor, or maybe your colleague, or somebody senior whom you think that can give you a good knowledge about some whom you trust. And that interaction, it's a continuous journey. It cannot happen that I pick up taking a course, in this case if I take PGCTL, and then, because all these learnings, if I'm not implementing in the class, or if I'm not interacting it, if I'm not doing that self-search and research and study, somewhere it will be again rusted, because I'm not implementing it, right? So for teachers, I would only say, if you're really passionate about this journey and you want to develop and yourself more professionally, then in that case, you'll have to keep on exploring, keep on improvising it, interacting, building a community, interacting with people, with like-minded people who want you to, who'll give you that kind of support, and they will try to help you out. Because it's not a one-day thing that you do and tomorrow you are on your own.
Very true. Very true. So, Baishali, earlier you had talked about attending the International Teachers Olympiad last year, correct? Can you tell me a little bit about your experience attending the International Teachers Olympiad? What were your feelings when you got your pedagogy report, and was it absolutely worth it to spend the $4.99 and participate in the Olympiad?
See, it's not a question of $4.99. Today, if you go to a Starbucks for a coffee, it goes more than that, right? Goes out. Or if you going and watching with your for a movie, you'll spend $1,000, not even $4.99. $4.99 was just a nominal amount, just to make somebody an accountable, which I feel, I don't know. So it's more than that. Why? You get a recognition, your potentials or your strengths or weaknesses globally, where you are ranked, also state-wise. So you position yourself where I am at, and then you do it. You build on that journey, how you want to improvise. Maybe in the next ITO, if somebody is rigorously following all the master classes and they are sure they're learning all the teachings that has been provided through this ITO, I'm sure they're going to improve more. So it's not about that $4.99, I don't think so. It's about the content they're providing, and somebody's institute like Suraasa is providing you that free option of attending the master classes, where you know that this is my improvement area, and if I work on it, tomorrow I can build up on it. And I'm sure that will show in your classroom performances, because somewhere, even if you are not highlighting your Suraasa report, ITO report, but you somewhere, whichever school you're catering to, there you will have your seniors, your head of the departments, or maybe your principals who will be monitoring your performance. So it was a good experience, because when I thought of the questionnaire over there, I was thinking, what is it all about? Because we have just started the course and all, but it was very scenario based. Yeah. And you don't have to do something with a kind of a pre-study and then come and appear for the assessment. Rather, whatever is there, whatever your understanding is, because that report is only sent to you until unless you request it to send it to your school, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, winning, being on the 10% or being on the 100%, that is incredible if somebody does it. But even if you're not, I never counted myself, okay, I'm at 70%, 30% percentile, I should have that. No, because I never thought it. Because even I'm learning it, right? I understand my shortfalls. Okay, this is where I need to work it. And this is how we'll learn. So this is, what Suraasa is doing, if somebody is diligently following this, they can definitely make up their journey and they can build on it. So this is something you can do it without even investing on the PGCTL course. So it's just that you have to find your options and utilize it.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I love how you talked about, that what you're getting from the International Teachers Olympiad is much more than just that small amount of $4.99 that you're paying. Like, it's going
Absolutely. And somewhere, when in the servers, there would be a database where it is published, right? So they know if somebody has already done very well, somebody has achieved 10% in the 10% percentile, or maybe in the top hundreds, they know that these are the cream teaching batches. Somewhere awesome. They'll get an opportunity, right? You just need to explore that the opportunity might be knocking at your door. You just need to keep your eyes and ears open. So how you take it is absolutely depends on the person, right? So I don't think so any other of course I'm new to this domain. I don't think so any other institutes are doing all those.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, also the fact that last year you attended the International Teachers Olympiad when you had just started your course, your PGCTL course. It highlights your dedication, like, to continuous growth and your willingness to expand your knowledge. Like, I'm so happy that you shared that with us. That okay, you were like, okay, it didn't scare you. You didn't say that, oh, there's an Olympiad, or I'm not going to take part. And you're like, no, I'm going to go forth and conquer. And you went.
It has to be, any decision you take, either it's a yes or it's a no, right? So what's the harm? If it's a no, then also I'm winning, right? I'll know my improvement areas and I can work on them. But if I do not appear, just thinking about $4.99 or maybe thinking that it's just a kind of wastage of time, then I am closing more the options of opportunities, right? I'm closing the doors. Let's figure out what will happen at the most. I mean, that's what I said. If you go to a Starbucks for a coffee, you'll spend more than this.
Very true. Very true. I'd like to take a moment here to remind our viewers that registration for International Teachers Olympiad are now open. You can find the link to register in the description below. It's super simple. All you need to do is click on the link in the description, fill in your details, pay the registration fee, and voila, you'll be registered. And for those of you who don't know about the Olympiad, well, it's an initiative by Suraasa to help teachers discover their true teaching potential. It's an opportunity for you to assess and evaluate your teaching skills and knowledge. You undergo a comprehensive hour-long evaluation based on which you receive a detailed report on your teaching practice. This report highlights your skills and areas for improvement, along with a growth plan for the next 6 months. So if you want to learn more about International Teachers Olympiad, head to the internationalteacherolympiad.com or leave a comment saying interested in ITO down below, and our team will provide you with the registration link once you comment. Well, that's all about the ITO, but let's get back to our conversation with Baishali. Okay, so Baishali, I have heard through my sources that you've been offered an exciting new teaching position as a business teacher. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Okay, and can you share with us, how you landed this job? What was your interview experience? Like, tell us everything.
Well, I completed my almost all the assignments. It's just few which are left, which I have to complete, and that can only be completed once I take up the teaching role. So except those assignments, rest all was completed. I had appeared for the mock interview with the mentors. So, and then I was just waiting for lining up for the interview if anything. So luckily there were 2 lined up interviews. One, I don't know, there was some delay with them and they did not inform me anything because there was something going on within their leadership group, and I was still waiting for their answers. In between, I found this and I thought that of course, because business studies is something I have been one of my subjects. So I said, okay, fine, let me. I just was lined up for the interview, and it just went the normal process. There was the introduction, and they asked something about the subject and all, and I was through. So
that's great, but I'm sure you would have been attending an interview after a very, very long time. Were you maybe a little nervous, because it's a new profession, you're not sure like what kind of questions they're gonna ask you? I know you had the mock interview with Suraasa, but we all, even if I have to go for an interview, I'm still a little nervous, even though I know most of what they're gonna ask me, but I still get nervous. So did you feel any kind of nervousness at all?
If I would have not attended the mock interview, then Mischelle, I would have been a little bit nervous because I would have appeared for the interview for a new domain after a long time. But that mock interview made my journey really smooth, because why? They teach us a lot of things. It's about how you present yourself, what to speak, how to perform your research before you go for an interview, how to prepare your resume. And for this, the special thanks would go to Ms. Sejal, who was very understanding from the day one. When she started lining up for interview, till the end of the process, she was there and she was just ensuring everything is there. If there's something I needed, or if I had a question, then I was very. I did not feel a kind of hindrance on it. Shall I share or shall I not? I just told my question. This is what I feel. This is what it is. So that was something that comfort got created, and that's because of Ms. Sejal. That mock interview, as I said, is very important, because when you are lining for a new domain, no matter if you are experienced or you're not in the same domain, it's very important that how you present yourself, how you prepare your resume, how you do your research, because the school will first check whether you are a culturally fit for their organization or not. Because there are a lot of things which you can learn and you can incorporate as you progress in the journey, right? You're just pursuing a career. You can improvise, you can add, you can learn, and you can implement. Whether you are a cultural fit, this is something which I have learned from my experience, that the schools are majorly looking for. Because they see how the students would feel if a teacher joins their organization, whether they will be open up to the teacher or whether it will be scary, right?
Yes.
So that mock interview, we had 3 sessions almost, and the mock interview, where you were assessed as per your skills, those were very important. So I would suggest people who are in the PGCTL course, make the most of use of it. If questions, bombard your mentors with the questions, because that's going to boost your confidence level.
Awesome. That's absolutely fantastic, and even better is that like the team was able to help you. The mock test like prepared you for this interview. It gave you all the groundwork that you needed to ace that interview. Prepared you so well, and like you said, shout out to Sejal for being amazing an amazing support through this journey for you.
Absolutely, she has been. She deserved that. Kudos to her, because I've seen people in my journey, I'm not talking overall, where people will align you for, and then they'll just knock you, okay, tomorrow is the date or this is the date, just be ready. But understanding and doing that groundwork, and it also helps you understand, because when you're new, you need that sometimes, where you can discuss 1 or 2 questions you have in your mind, which you might think, should I say or not, because I might sound silly, right? People have those questions in mind, but having the comfort zone and having that interaction with a trusted team, where that if you discuss, you will not have any issues. So that's important.
Awesome. Once again, congratulations on your new role, and I'm 100% sure you're going to make a lasting impression, and your students are going to remember you and love you, because your story is very inspiring, and I'm sure that's going to inspire a lot of kids.
I'll give my best, and I hope I am able to build that experience and create that impact in their life, because that's what is more important, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Baishali, let's get back to some serious stuff. Okay. So, with your vast experience in the IT sector, and now as you're starting to take on the new role as a teacher, I'm super curious to hear your insights on preparing our students for a career in the field of information technology. Like, what can we do to equip our students with the necessary skills and knowledge for success in the IT industry?
See, apart from having a corporate experience and now heading towards teaching journey, I'm also an NLP practitioner and coach.
Okay.
So what I understand, that it's not about what a person wants, because most of the time our new generations, either somebody chooses their subjects for them, or somebody decides their stream for them, and they in that journey they forget their own passion.
Okay.
What actually they like. So before even heading towards the corporate role or ITS or core IT, it's very important to do that inner search, doing that self-searching, finding out what exactly a person wants, because they are just rushing out from schools and they would be heading towards their colleges and then moving towards their career. So what actually passionates them, what actually they want, that they like in doing, enjoying, right? Because somebody you'll find they're very good at graphics or maybe animation, then that's for them, right? But so it's very important that they do that search, they research, they understand what are they passionate about and where they can build a career. Because of course, if you are pursuing a career, it should at least take care of your bills as well as you grow, right? Because every time your parents will not be your support.
True, very true.
You have to be self-dependent, and you have to keep a very realistic picture. So having that search will tell them whether that career is good for them. Because most of the time what I see, even because I have handled teams, they might have maybe somebody have done hotel management because what their friends were doing it, or maybe their parents told, or maybe somebody told in their family, and now they have headed up to a different career which has nothing to do with their education that they've pursued. Sure. So somewhere there was a dissatisfaction, but the people try to cope up, because as they start getting matured and they are aging, they think, okay, I should earn, I should do this. That's the reason I'm saying be very crystal clear what you want to achieve from your life. Because when you're sure this is what you're passionate about and this is what you're going to build a career, and this career is going to give you at least a kind of, you have a rough estimate, this would be the range of figures of salary that you'll draw, you'll put your heart and soul to it, because why you enjoy it, right? Otherwise, after some time you feel that monotonous and it's a kind of burden, and then that's where people do not progress, or maybe their marks or maybe their grades are not as they had wanted to achieve. So IT is always good, but it's all depends how you want to pursue. If you want to be into core IT, then I would say pursue data science, learn some codings. Nowadays you don't have to learn scripted language, where you can learn codings through various options without even knowing the scripts. And if you want to do into ITS, yes, MBA or all that helps. It's more about to learn about the operational management, because at the end of the day you are somewhere managing. Even if you are into training or maybe HR, you have to manage the operations. So those are something I would say, but first think about what you want to do, because then that's where you will put your more than 100%.
Absolutely. Those are some excellent insights. Like, I completely agree with you. Like, it's important first to know what you're passionate about, or at least try and find what your passion is. Do the research in terms of what are your opportunities out there, where you can work, and maybe prepare a growth plan for yourself, right?
Absolutely, it has to be strategized. It cannot happen that somebody suggested something and I go and enroll myself. Okay, yeah, I feel very excited. Yeah, maybe this will earn me good. I'll be in a good position, because every teenager thinks in that way. I'll be in this position. I'll earn this much of salary. I'll get a car. I'll buy a house. But in that course, it's not so easy. It is where you are stepping towards the reality of your life. You have to be very crystal clear what you want.
Absolutely. And just by the fact that you have already realized this, that it's not about forcing them, it's about finding or helping them find their passion. I can say without a doubt that your students are lucky to have you. Okay. And talking about lucky teachers, like, I would like to know about your teachers. Like, can you tell us about a teacher from your school, college, or university who still holds a special place in your heart? A teacher who had a significant impact on your life as a person or on your professional life.
Yeah, there was one, even now, my school teacher, she was my English teacher. And the other one was my economics teacher during my college days. So these two were my role models. Means when I talk about teachers, these two teachers means they used to be very selfless. Right? As kids, we also can catch energies and we can make out, which teacher is selflessly delivering their job. And who is not just doing a kind of tick in the box. There's somewhere more. And what I like about these two teachers is, they used to never categorize based on the grades or based upon the intelligence or who is the first rank holder or the second rank holder. They used to be, they believed in more than connecting with people. And whenever these days to get time, we used to have lots and lots of offline discussions. I still remember, our recesses used to get over, but our talks used to never get over. We used to circle her around, or maybe us during our college days, and we used to ask questions. That's how you create impact. And I also believe the same, because when you are in that student life, there somewhere, your adolescent period, or maybe the surrounding, too many thoughts going into your mind, you want at times so anxious, you want to do so many things, and you are not okay to ask everything, to go and ask your parents, right? Because you're scared that how you will perceive first of all, or you might get a scolding.
True.
So that is the reason, having that a very heart-to-heart conversation with your teachers very important, because they've already left that. They've lived that life. Their experience will guide you through the path that what's right and what's wrong. And that phase, during the 9, when it's a peak time when a person can go off track, and during the college days, I was very blessed to find these two mentors. I don't call them teachers, I call them mentors, because somewhere why you can always go and ask, and I'm still now in touch with them, interact with them. That's what I feel, because this is where these are assets. You can't just replace them.
Absolutely not.
And it's not that you're passed on your school life or your college life and you're done. So once in a blue moon you meet somewhere and then you greet them, hello XYZ ma'am or sir, I was your student. No, if you are really building that relationship with them and you really respect them, adore them, then that connect has to be there. You don't have to be that frequent, but at least they know you.
Awesome. They sound like exceptional teachers. Like, it's incredible how teachers can make such a profound impact on our lives, right? Like, really, like, sometimes, like you said, you don't consider them as teachers, they're mentors, which means that, like, they did make a huge impact. I'm sure to an extent they have influenced a lot of changes or a lot of habits, a lot of routines in your life as well, or at least influence your integrity, ethics, things like that, right?
Absolutely, because that's where you start building your values. You also identify your core values. What is, a done deal and what is not a done deal for you, right? So you know your values, and that's where you understand your potentials, as you said, or maybe your core values. You know that this is something I'm not going to compromise, and that's where it defines your personality as well.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing this touching story with us. Now, moving on, we're almost at the final segment of our podcast. Okay, this is the rapid fire session. So here, what we'll do, have you heard? I'm sure you've played rapid fire before. Great. So very quickly, 10 questions. You give me the answer quickly without thinking much. I'm going to give you 120 seconds. Okay, let me just put on my timer. Okay. So Baishali, are you ready for the rapid fire session?
I'm ready. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, start. If you could make one wish as a teacher, what would it be?
I would like to incorporate self-education more into curriculum.
Okay. Are you a mountain person or a beach person?
Mountain.
Okay. If you could create a dream field trip for your students, where would you take them?
I would take them to a kind of Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, wow. Okay. One word to describe Suraasa.
Empowering.
Amazing. A movie you recommend everyone watch?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Aww. One of my favorites.
Yes.
If you were the education minister for one day, one thing that you would like to implement?
I would first make all the fees free for all the students, so that even the underprivileged can pursue education. Plus, I will make more the self-education as a kind of integral part of the education curriculum, where people understand themselves, and the students understand themselves better. They have proper alignment of mind, body, and soul.
Awesome. What is your go-to mantra as a teacher?
Be a lifelong learner. Start. Okay. Yeah, and start improvising whatever you find.
All right, we're out of time, but I'm still going to keep going because I want to ask you all these questions. I want to know. Okay.
Sure.
What's your dream destination or dream institution where you'd like to teach?
If I've given an opportunity, maybe in one of the IB schools.
Nice. Okay. If you could meet a celebrity, who would it be?
Oprah Winfrey.
Very nice. I mean, when I was young, I really wanted to meet Oprah, also because I wanted the free car and the books.
Yeah, she's an amazing. I mean, there's a lot to learn. Her life journey has been very inspiring. I mean, she's a self-made woman.
Without a doubt. A lot of hardships there and how she overcame. Amazing, inspiring story, actually.
Yes.
My last question. How would you like your students to remember you? What's the one word that should come to their mind when they think of you?
Well, I should impact.
Oh, wow. Impactful. That's amazing. Like the fact that you're going there with that mind that I want to make change. I want to impact their lives. That's truly amazing and truly inspiring. Really. Thank you, Baishali, for taking part in our rapid fire round. You nailed it. That was definitely entertaining. And it's like a little, say, a window into a little more of who Baishali is. And it was really fun. But overall, super fun. Okay. So before we end the podcast today, I'd like you to share a message with all the teachers on why they should participate in the International Teachers Olympiad.
It's the report that they will get about their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses, and that will open up more professional avenues for them, not only as a professional development, but also more career opportunities, because everybody wants to grow somewhere, no matter how tenured they are in whichever schools or schools they are on in organizations. So I would ask them to make them as a kind of personal investment, and once they are through whatever their scores, it doesn't matter what the scores are, but if they start building it from their journey and just spend at least 15 minutes of their time daily, I think they can do wonders. Because all the teachers as of now what I've met, and in the last Teacher Impact Award also, I've seen so many success stories. I mean, they're doing so much. I mean, you can inspire somebody, and you can also build your own journey. You can create your legacy, because for me, it's not just coming and doing your work. What impact you create, as I said, and what legacy do you leave behind is more important, because people come, people go, and nobody's going to stay here forever on this earth.
Sure.
But what impact we create matters the most, right? That's why I see, for me, my teachers are so, close to my heart, that even now in this interview, I'm talking about them.
Right.
So somewhere, even we as teachers, I would include myself also, that, where we can create impact, and tomorrow our students will talk about us.
Right,
and that's what
right.
is more important.
That's definitely something to consider. Everything that you have said here, especially about making an impact, that's something that we should all consider. And it's an absolutely amazing opportunity for teachers to assess and evaluate their teaching strengths, skills, and scope. Once again, guys, registrations are open. Do check it out. The registration link is in the description below. Okay. Baishali, thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest on our podcast today. I had an absolutely blast talking to you. Thank you for being such a sport and so entertaining throughout our conversation.
Thank you so much. I liked my interaction with you. So it was amazing. Thank you for having me here.
We are absolutely, we're blessed to have such inspiring educators, we're blessed to interact with such inspiring educators on a daily basis, and I am happy to host this podcast with you. Thank you so much for taking the time. You have a great day, and we'll see you again.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Take
Have a
care.
nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Your continued support means the world to us. And if you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to never miss an update from us. In the comment section, let us know your thoughts on this episode, or if you want to share your suggestions on activities or conversations for future episodes, you can do so in the comment section below. Until next time, take care. I promise I'll be back super soon with more inspiring teachers and their stories. Bye!